Right, I want to have a chat / rant.
Yeah, we both do.
Yesterday we were anchored and there was this couple lifting up anchor and they were screaming at each other. And I don't mean like a little bit, I mean she was in floods of tears and he was screaming and she was screaming back. And there seems to be this thing where it's borderline acceptable for the skipper to shout at the crew.
So yeah, that's a general thing amongst a lot of the people we've met over the winter. It's a male and female partner.
Yeah.
And it's usually, not always, it's usually the bloke that's the skipper and the bloke that shouts at his partner. And we've been amongst groups of women who've just said, oh yeah, so-and-so does it as well. And it seems to be considered to be alright.
There's definitely times where it's slightly stressful or we have to do things quickly where either of us will be like, come on, you gotta do it quickly. But it's not a shout. It's like in the same way that like if a child was going to put their hand in the fire, you'd be like, don't do that. It's not like a... But I'm talking about actual like screaming at each other, like having a go at each other. Whereas in I don't know, but I thought that what made a good skipper, and actually what makes the best skippers, is when they don't do that. And actually they take pride in not doing that. Because if they're doing that, they've done something wrong earlier down the line. They don't know the plan, they don't know the backup plan, or like...
Oh, they've just not got control over themselves.
Well, they've not got control.
Not good communicators. So we've talked about it quite a lot actually.
Yeah.
And we think it's something that it's not just amongst couples, it exists in the wider community. And I know when I did one of my sailing courses, there was a bit of shouting from the instructor, and one of the guys on the course said to me, you know, I think that's just kind of the way it goes.
It's quite normal.
But I don't really see why, and we wonder if a lot of the culture around the instructors is because a lot of the training comes from the military originally, maybe. But you know, there's, of course, especially on a boat with a number of crew, somebody has to take the lead, the skipper has to take the lead, and people have to do what they're told. No question there, get that. Why that has to involve shouting at people and why that shouting's considered normal when it's not in other areas of leadership, you know, in a business or anywhere else, you know, school, that wouldn't be acceptable.
And because it's quite, I mean, anger comes from a place of fear or sadness, doesn't it? And we all know that there can be some pretty like hairy situations on a boat, so maybe that's where it comes from. But still, my point is that the best skippers are in control and the best skippers don't shout.
Authority while remaining calm.
Yeah, and that's what you're striving for, isn't it?
Surely.
Question mark, isn't it? Like what?
Why shouting normalised?
I know. I'm shouting now because this really frustrates. And like we've seen it so many times, like with people just screaming at each other, like, and not just, you know, it's not just charter boats. So can we just stop it?
Yeah.
Like, can we just agree that actually what makes a really good skipper is when you're not shouting and
remaining calm under pressure,
and being in control of the situation, and doing the prior preparation, the plan. You end up with all these, no offense, you end up with a lot of blokes on their own because their wives have like buggered off because they've had a miserable time being shouted. Not maybe it's the other way around as well, you know, it works both ways. All these like I wondered why it's not a pleasant experience being screamed at.
I'm wondering why they're on their own.
Why am I? Like, so can we just stop it? Yeah? Can we just stop it?
Less shouting.
Less shouting.